What's up, everybody? This is Danny Mathematics again with another example to explore. And today I want to go over example 1 and example 2 of solving quadratic equations. And quadratic equations are just second degree polynomials where the highest degree is to the second power. The highest degree is to the second power. And today, guys, we're going to solve to find out what are the two possible values x could be in order to make each equation true, okay? So in order to solve this, guys, we're going to be using the quadratic formula. You can also factor as well, but I like to use the quadratic formula. And the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2a, okay? And then a, b, and c are just the coefficients and constants of the particular equation, okay? So in this first equation, we have x squared minus 10x equals 11. The first thing that we want to do, guys, we want to set the equation to equal to 0. So we need all of the values of the equations to be on one side. So in saying that, I'm going to subtract 11 on this side and then move it to the opposite side. So I'm going to subtract 11 on that side, subtract 11 on this side, and now I will have x squared minus 10x minus 11. Okay, so that is going to be our quadratic equation that we can utilize. All right, so minus 11, and remember, everything equals 0. All right, now the next step we need to do is we need to identify the coefficients and the constants, which is a, b, and c. A is the coefficient, is always the coefficient that is in front of the second power, x to the second power. So a will automatically just be 1, right? Because x squared is actually saying 1x squared. So I'm going to set a as 1. B is the coefficient that is attached to x to the first degree. So b is negative 10. And if b is negative 10, then negative b is positive 10. All right, because in our equation, we have a positive b and we have a negative b. So once again, b is negative 10, negative b is positive 10. And then last but not least, once again, that's b. Last but not least, we have c, and c is just c for constant, right? All right, so c will be negative 11. Okay, so now we have created our key of what values we're going to plug into the quadratic formula, and all we need to do is plug in those values, simplify the formula, and we will find out the two possible values of x. All right, so we're just going to follow the formula. Negative b is 10, so it's going to be 10 plus or minus the square root of b, positive b squared, that's negative 10, so it's going to be negative 10 to the second power. Okay, minus 4 times a is 1. A is 1, so it's going to be times 1. And then times c, that's negative 11, so it's going to be times negative 11. All right. All divided by 2 times a. Once again, a is 1, so that's 2 times 1, which is just 2. All right, so I just want to put everything in. So now we have successfully plugged in our values inside the quadratic formula. Now we just need to simplify in order to solve. All right, so I just want to make sure I have all my right values. Yes, I do. Okay, so we're going to keep going. So we're going to have 10 plus or minus the square root of negative 10 squared. A negative times a negative is just like a positive times a positive. So 10 times 10 is 100, so that's going to be 100. A negative times a negative is a positive, so 4 times 11 is 44, times 1 is still 44, so that's going to be plus 44. Okay, all divided by 2 times 1 is just 2. Okay, so now we can keep going, simplify even more. Oops. 100 plus 44 is actually 144, and the square root of 144 is 12. Okay, so we can just go ahead and simplify that down to 12. So now I'm going to have 10 plus or minus 12 divided by 2. Now, mind you guys, we have two different operations. That's why we have a plus or a minus. So in one operation, we're going to add 12 to 10 and divide by 2. And then the second operation, we're going to subtract 12 from 10 and then divide by 2. So let's go ahead and do that. And these two operations will give us the two possible values of x. So I'm going to have x equals, let's do 10 plus 12. Divided by 2. That's the first one. And then the second one will be 10 minus 12 divided by 2. Okay, so let's just keep going. And we're down to the final step. All we got to do is just solve these, and we'll have the two possible values of x that will make this whole equation true. Okay, 10 plus 12 is 22. 22 divided by 2 is 11. So one possible value of x is x being 11 to make this whole equation true. And then let's do the second one. 10 minus negative 12 is negative 2. Negative 2 divided by positive 2 is a negative 1. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is, guys, to prove that these two values are the true values of x, I'm just going to plug in one of them as x inside of the actual equation. Okay. So let's just try 11. If 11 works, then negative 1 will work. So if x is 11, I'm going to have 11 squared. Once again, this is stemming from the equation. I'm just plugging in the value. I'm going to have 11 squared minus 10 times 11, right, equals 11. Okay, 11 squared, that's 11 times 11, that's going to be 121. Okay, 10 times 11 is 110. Let me just make sure. Yes, that's 110. So that's going to be minus 110. And then, of course, 121 minus 110 equals 11. All right. So that would actually equal 11. That lets us know that we have the two true values of x. All right. So this is how we can solve any quadratic equation. You can just utilize the quadratic function. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you.
All right, that's it.